What's up? Ryman. Just came back from Marketing One, and some people said they want to hear about my what I'm learning. So here I go. So Marketing One, I just did a case study. It was about a beer company from Japan trying to get into the Chinese market back in the day, Shanghai to be exact. And we read these cases. They're abstracts of, they can't put every detail. So abstracts of what happened. It gives the history of China and the history of the competition, and it got some questions. What do you think? What do you think? So I read everything. I highlighted everything. I read like 3 times. I was prepared. So I get to class. It was like 31 students. This is the biggest class I had so far. I guess it's the biggest you can have in any class. So we got 30 students, different. Some are marketing majors or in the marketing department. All these people, right? So we do the introduction. It was the first class, so we do introductions, and bam, we get into it. He's asking questions and da da da. And like I knew it. I knew what I knew, and I don't know. I did okay, but you don't get graded on that part. You get graded on participation. So you got to raise your hand and say something. Now that's the problem I had, because I know what I know, but I don't know if I want to say what I know because it might not be the right answer, and so I didn't really say much. But I did raise my hand because I'm not afraid of speaking. It's like performing. Get up on stage, do that thing. Or I've been teaching 30 kids in a classroom, so that part's easy. But we get graded on the quality of what we say and how many times we say it. So yeah. Anyway, so the points that I took away from today. When you are looking to enter a new market, you have to look at the competition. You gotta do there's different ways to break it down, but the 3 C's: company, competition, and what's that third C? The consumers. And you have to, so you can list the facts. So that's what I did. I listed, okay, that these people did this and these people did that, but that's not enough. Just saying what is, that's just saying what it is. What you need to do is be able to interpret it. What's your analysis? And then what's your strategy? So it'd be like, yeah, in China at that time, the biggest companies were Chinese. Yeah, Japan is coming into the market. So yeah, da 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 da. And you got to figure out where the weak spots are and blah blah. So yeah, I don't know. I got a long way to go, but and these are 3-hour classes, man. So yeah, So Ryman, he went up there, he did his thing. So yeah, but let's try this together. So this is I'm taking these classes, but I try to apply it to my life. So something like this. For example, this is just an abstract example. All right, so say Ryman Gaijin, myself, wants to break into the top Japan vloggers. All right. So we gotta look at the 3 C's. We got the company being myself, Ryman. He's a rapper. I'm a rapper. He's a rapper. Been here for a couple of years. He has a following, and he performs, and he makes his own logo and stuff, and blah blah. So that's company. Those are the strong points. Then we got to do like a SWOT, but strong points. Weak points, he doesn't really get in. He doesn't really do a lot of features. He doesn't do a lot of collaborations. He doesn't push anything that's Japanese. And we'll move to the next point. Customers. So in Japan, the customers would be you guys, the people who watch us guys. So the customers would be the people who like anime. They want to learn about Japan. They want to come to Japan to teach English. I don't know how many people really want to teach English, but they want to come to Japan. The people who like the females, or the girls that like the guys, like the martial arts, da da da. The consumers, the customers are very, 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 very opinionated. They always got an opinion. You say A, they're gonna say B, C, and D. You say G, they're gonna say A, B, C. You say that's just how they work, right? They Now these are all assumptions. I don't know. I didn't do the research, so these are assumptions. You don't want to base a whole strategy off of assumptions, but this just for example. So they seem to have a lot of time because they watch videos. They seem not to be watching TV because they watch YouTube. I think that's an overall trend. Now, in the case, we would have the study like, well, in 2000, the trend from people watching TV is going down, and then we could probably base it with the money that YouTube or Google is putting into YouTube. They keep adding new features. They just built a brand new facility in Tokyo. So we could assume that more people are watching YouTube. Maybe you don't know this, but they what do you call it? They just added the feature where us YouTube people, we can put ads that are cigarettes and beer. They'll never be on my channel because I don't smoke cigarettes and I don't drink beer. So, but I think that's going to be a very big incentive for a lot of people to make more money, or at least it's something now that they think is gonna. So it's a good market. It's growing, all right? So they must feel that the consumers are ready for that. All right. And then the last one is competition. Who's my competition? Almost everybody. I would say almost everybody, but not everyone's my competition. I'm not competing with the lady with the dog, cooking with dog. Well, we don't occupy the same space, so I'm pretty sure she can do her thing. And I'm not competing with people who talk about news and people who teach Japan and people. So really my only competition is anyone who's music related. So if we were to target segment, so we got Hikakin way at the top, we got Daichi, we got all the musicians. I think there's about 4 of them, singers, and then I think there's some like beat makers down the list or whatever. So right there, and then we got to figure. We got so now that's just the facts. You know, this is abstract, but those are the facts. Those are what. Now, what is my strategy? How do I navigate this? How do I do it? So in the case of the beer company going into China, at that time in China, they had, like, this is way, like 1960, 1970, 1980. Well, it started from back then. But back in the day, they didn't have refrigerators. So they can sell beer, but you had to consume it where you bought it. Otherwise, it'd just be warm beer. And actually, you know, so that was a problem. Also, they didn't have a good distribution system, you know, so they had a lot of little streets and stuff. Trucks can't get in there. So little shops, mom and pop, pop and mop, pop, pop, pop and mop, pop. That could be a new song. Pop and mop, pop, pop. Mom and pop shops didn't have, they didn't get stocked up with, you know, beer and all that, you know. They also had a very strong wholesaler. Wholesalers are the people who sell the things to the stores, and the wholesaler had the power. They weren't trying to take any Joe and Schmo. You know, they're just like, you know, we don't want to sell your shit, and they didn't. So this new company was like, we can't get the big company, the big wholesaler to help us. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell directly to little companies with little wheelbarrows so they can take one bag or one box of beer and wheel that shit into the store, stock it, and then when it sells out, and they had like how many, like 151 little wholesalers that were distributing to between 30 and 60,000 little shops, and they boosted up their promotion. They had like a blimp. So at this time in China, there was only one other occurrence of a blimp. So it's the second time, and this is their product going over the thing. And blah, 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 blah. But with all this, their marketing mix, they're able to get a bigger share of, well, they got a lot. They did really good. And the rest is history. So I'm reading this, and it's just like, wow. You know, and so then, you know, so we'll go back to the case of Ryman. You know, I'm trying to break into the thing. I've been around for a while. So when people, I sometimes say this, and then people would be throwing all these, well, you should do this and you should, but they're not researching the market, you know. We could do another analysis, pest. I'm gonna get out of here real quick because my food's in the microwave. It's probably cold by now. But pest. Pest is political, environmental, I forget what S is right now. And T is technical, technology. And S, shit, what is S? We're just gonna skip S. So P, political. Now, in Japan, I don't got the confirmation. This is another abstract. But in Japan, YouTube Japan is kind of pushing Japanese vloggers. Because in America, you got a lot of American vloggers. And Japan wants to have their own bloggers. Now you say, how do you know that? Well, every time they have like these big contests, it's usually Japanese vloggers who or Japanese speaking foreigners who happen to be here. So I don't speak Japanese. So, here's the politics of it all. Also, we got like, at one point there was partners. Partners was like, yeah, you're a partner. And that was hand-picked by people inside the YouTube office. Yeah, you're a partner. You're a partner. And overwhelmingly, they were picking certain kinds of people that make certain kinds of videos. I don't remember any beat makers in Japan. I don't think there's many getting picked. So there's some kind of politics going on there, which I can't do anything about that. All right, you got the environment or economics. There's more money coming into YouTube, man. More companies are seeing this as a force with all these viral, and then you got Gundam style. Every company's going to be actively coming in here, so I think money's going to be flowing. S, I forget what S is, man, and shit. All right, T, technology. As iPhones and all the Androids get more advanced, YouTube can do more. Just recently, they started putting ads on our iPhones and tablets and all that. So that means more money. More people can access it. So, back in the day, people would be getting like big views. That'd be like 50,000. Yeah, we got 50,000. Now big views is a billion. I got a billion or a million or 5 million. When we see like a Rihanna video clip, we expect 50 million views. Now, it's been reported that companies, Sony and the like, have been buying these views to kind of... So I guess if we go back to the 3 C's, that's my competition as an artist. I'm competing with Sony, who's buying views, and yeah. So, I don't expect any like 10-page reports, but think about all the stuff I just said, and you don't have to, whatever. But this is what I'm doing. So I'm trying to take what I learned in class and then apply it to company me. How do I get? So if you have any ideas about that. And just to answer some questions, when I record my videos, if I'm outside, most likely it's an iPhone because it's quick. I had a video camera. That's like this. iPhone's like this. As far as getting a teaching job in Japan, when you live in Japan and you already are teaching, it's pretty easy because your visa is already locked in there, and it's most likely that it will get renewed. It's a risk if you live way outside of Japan and they're just gonna hire you and sponsor you, and you might quit. Then you gotta do all this stuff. So it's much easier when you're here with a job. Now, I'm not suggesting you fly over here and then be like, I'm gonna get a job, because you're a risk. Hey, but to each their own. And last question. Someone asked me, is it better to do what you love or do something you don't love and get paid or something? It comes up to you, man. You should be happy somehow. I probably would not be happy selling beer, or selling cigarettes. That's just not me. Even if it was paying a lot of money, I don't think I could like make that my thing. It pays bills, and but it comes down to the person. Maybe you can just kind of, you know what they say, if you can go to sleep at night. And then also it depends on your circumstances, If you can do it, do it. If you can't, then you just got to figure out a way to do it. Anyway, I got one more interview. Well, I had one today, and I have one more tomorrow. So I'm going to go to bed. My head's hurting from all this studying and shit. Eat my food. All right, thanks for watching, and be safe. Peace. Ryman. Cheer.